working. Right near the symphony of stones on one side is this stream that passes by. Okay. Hi. Hello, my name is Tanya and this is my first video in which I'm talking to the camera. Hi. Hi, my name is Tanya and I'm trying something new. I'm in Yerevan, the capital city of Armenia right now, traveling alone for 1.5 weeks, and I thought that instead of just taking footage and then trying to think back to how I felt in the moments here during my travel, I will try and speak to the camera while it's happening so that, you know, I can document more than anything for myself how I felt every day during my trip. This is just my second day here. I'm standing right outside the Armenian Genocide Museum. I haven't gone in yet, but I thought that I will take a moment to kind of just speak about my day yesterday. I arrived in Yerevan in the afternoon yesterday, and then over the course of a few hours in the evening, I just walked around, saw a couple of things. A lot happened actually, and I had a great day. So yeah, here goes. Okay, so day one, I arrive in Yerevan. When I'm landing, I see a view of Mount Ararat. It looked beautiful. It's very, very grand, stands very tall. Our plane was basically flying at the height of the Mount Ararat, and you get a full view as you're landing into Yerevan. Then I took a cab to my hotel. I was noticing a few things about the streets. The marketplaces look slightly, or at least my first perception was that they look quite similar to India, you know, a small town, and how there are multiple shops on one street and everything is chaotic. The traffic is quite similar as well, although the difference is that, you know, roads are massive here, so you witness chaos on 8-lane roads, so that's quite something. But yeah, so there were parts of Europe, parts of India, parts of obviously Middle East and the Russian influence that is on Armenia. People seemed very nice, a lot of old people, beautiful faces, stunning people. And then I arrived into the hotel, rested for a bit, and then I just wanted to walk around and get a feel of the city, which is how I usually like to travel. The whole town feels very old, as if it's from some other time. The buildings are really old. It's not even trying to be modern, honestly. The pace of life feels very slow. People are just having a lot of fun. You can see the people are happy here. So I made my way towards the town center. There's the Republic Square, you have the National Gallery, you have the Museum of History that I'm going to visit today. And then you walk towards the Cascade, which is this massive staircase that leads you up towards a high point in the town, and you get the view of the city. So I didn't want to do it yesterday because I was already late, and I had stopped in the middle at this, again, a gorgeous restaurant called Katsin, I think. I'm sorry if I'm butchering names. But I just stopped there, chilled for an hour, had amazing food. They do eggplant really well, and there's like fresh feta, and their tomatoes are amazing, juicy, and they're mighty proud of their tomatoes, I must say. So yeah, and then as I make my way towards the Cascade, that part of the town is quite bustling. There were a lot of people. It seemed like the whole city was outside. It was also great weather, by the way. It was cloudy, and it seemed like it was going to rain, and I was hoping with all my heart that it rains. So just the feel of very light, thin air on your skin was already making me quite happy. I'm about to reach the cascade, I start hearing this very loud music coming from almost right at the bottom of the stairs, where the stairs start. And so I walk towards it, and there's a massive crowd of people who are gathered there. And it's almost impossible to see what they're surrounding. So I try and kind of squeeze my way in, and what I notice is this massive group of just people, the whole city again, doing this Armenian folk dance, which someone told me, there's towards the end of July, there's some sort of a festival, I forget the name, but there's one that's happening on Sunday, tomorrow as well, where they splash water on each other, and they come together, all of them, and they dance and they celebrate, and they do the Armenian folk dance, which again, it's called something that starts with K, and I've forgotten what it's called, but look it up. It's stunning. So they were just dancing, there was music, and then someone would come at the end of each song, teach them a few steps, the whole sequence of the next song, and then a beautiful folk music would start playing, and everyone would form these circles throughout whatever space was available, strangers holding hands and going around in circles and just dancing their hearts out. It was a beautiful experience, and I think I stayed there for an hour at least, just song after song, watching those people dance, and it just felt so communal, together, happy, and just there was a sense of celebration in the air, which was, I think, very touching. Okay, day 2. I was still in Yerevan, day 2. I think the first day I just wanted to get a feel of the city, so I was just walking around on the streets aimlessly, but day 2 I wanted to go to certain museums, memorials, I wanted to go to a market, I wanted to climb the cascade for the sunset, and so that's what I did. Started the morning by walking to the Genocide Museum of Armenia. It was about 4-ish kilometers uphill walk from my hotel, and wasn't easy, but I think I just stumbled upon places because I was just walking and trying to explore whatever interesting that I saw on the way. Found myself in a weekend market which is basically this massive garage sale where old people had just gathered and brought everything and anything from their homes, to like vinyl players, to nuts and bolts, to like old pictures and tools and Swiss knives, and you think you name it and you have it there. So yeah, I did that, and then eventually made my way to the Genocide Museum. Now the experience was, I think, quite eye-opening, but also not the easiest, because obviously you're just reading about the Armenian genocide, which started from the Turkish-Persian wars in the 16th, 17th century, eventually the Ottomans taking control of the region, and then because the Armenians were Christians, that didn't sit too well with the Ottomans, and they were constantly either trying to convert them, where they would receive a lot of resistance, and because they were not able to do it, they just wanted to exterminate the whole race almost. So the Armenian genocide was a series of events that took place between the late 1800s to the beginning of 1900s, well into the First World War. And the one thing that the museum does really well is it very openly calls out whoever was complicit in the genocide. It also mentions other places around the world where similar events have happened. In solidarity, it calls out everyone that came in support of people at that time. So it's really, really informational, educational, but also just an overwhelming experience, and that really drained me out, I think, even though I quite loved being there, because I think it's important to kind of just be aware of these things and to kind of acknowledge it, right? I look slightly drenched because I'm out on the day of the festival, Var the Var. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's the water festival of Armenia, and I'm doing the Gani temple, Gegard monastery today, and my god, the kids, they are so happy. They're out in the street. It was so funny because I'm standing in front of Gani temple, which is, you know, built in the 1st century, and outside it are just kids chasing each other, targeting anyone who crosses them, and just getting so excited when they catch you off guard. It's quite sweet. I'm in my car. I finally got a car. Very happy with it. This is my first time driving alone in a new country, so I was slightly nervous, but I think it just took me like the first 5 minutes and I'm quite comfortable. I drove around the whole day today, so it's really nice. And I had people had asked me to try the Gani bread, which I did, and it's massive. It's so good. It's basically the softest bread filled with natural honey, and it's incredible, but it's very filling, so I couldn't have a lot of it, so I'm saving it for dessert, I think. Okay, so I just visited the Gegard monastery. The car's really hot, so the AC was loud. It was, how do I describe this experience? I think I felt at peace, that's for sure. There were a lot of people. There was somebody getting married, and then, you know, taking pictures with all their relatives inside the monastery. A lot of people just praying and lighting candles, and it's really old. It's, I think, 4th century or something. I was just at the Symphony of Stones, and you know what? I'm just going to look it up because the geology is incredible. There's basically the whole mountain is just it's almost like pillars or columns are just stacked against each other, and that's all natural. I just need to read about it. So it says the Symphony of Stones in Gani Gorge, Armenia, is a geological formation of columnar basalt created by the cooling and fracturing of volcanic lava flows. These formations, resembling a giant organ, are a testament to the Earth's powerful forces and millions of years of natural sculpting. It's insane. It's composed of basalt columns formed when molten lava cools and contracts. It is pelting. It is raining like mad, and I'm in the mountains. I'm just happy. It's incredible. It's yeah, it's a special day, and two of my favorite things: mountains and rain. Oh my god, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, let me quickly talk about my day yesterday. I don't know if you can hear me over this pitter patter of the rain, but it's just so nice that I can't help it. I'm standing in the Armenian highlands in the mountain range of Goris. I'm on the way to Lake Gari right now, from where I want to do a quick hike to, I think it's called the South Point. I just stopped here because there was a family, a tribal family, that just has a lot of sheep, horses. They live in caravans and tents, so they invited me inside one of their tents. The whole family was there. There was a very beautiful little baby. I got some pictures, and in the beginning they asked me not to take any pictures, but then they kind of opened up to me. We couldn't obviously understand each other at all, but it was really nice. Anyway, about my day yesterday, I arrived in Dilijan from Yerevan. I'm staying in this very beautiful hotel. Dilijan is quite remote, so you're kind of driving away from the city into this remote place. There are hardly any cars around you, so driving was quite fun as well. And then yesterday I just spent the day going deeper into the mountains. I went to the Amber bird fortress, and then near that is this monastery, very, very beautiful on a cliff. It overlooks the Ambered Gorge, I think that's what it's called, and there's a river that flows in that gorge. I forget what it's called, sorry, but it's a beautiful scene. I'm climbing to the southern point, or the southern peak of the Aragats. I've just started. I think it's been half an hour, 45 minutes. There's still a long way to go, but I was taking a break and I thought that I will talk about my day so far. I've had a wonderful day. It's around 2 p.m. right now. I'd kept the whole day just for this, so I'm not in a hurry. I'm walking very slowly, taking breaks whenever I want. Also, it's just so beautiful. The mountain doesn't have, it's barren, it doesn't really have trees or whatever. Actually, let me show you. But there are these beautiful wildflowers through the whole slope, and this is also, you know, I can see patches of snow, so I'm sure in winter months this whole area must be covered with snow. And then, like I said, just so many beautiful wildflowers in all colors, purple, white, there's a little bit of pink and red in there as well, and it's just stunning. It's not a very difficult hike, but I'm taking my time with it. I'm on the way back after trying to climb the south summit, or the south peak of the Aragats. I started from Lake Kari and just started walking. There was a very clear path in the beginning, but after a point it just, you know, there were stones and stuff, so you can't clearly see what is the right path or the trail to take. And thankfully I met there was nobody else. There was just these two Armenian boys who had started climbing after me, so I just waited for them to catch up, and then they also were not too sure, but since I had company now, so we were just trying to navigate and see where's the trail and how do we get up there. They'd also spoken to a few people, so they had definitely more idea than I did. Another stupid thing that I did was that I didn't carry a jacket or anything with me. And obviously as you're climbing up, it's getting colder, and one of them very kindly lent me his jacket, and that was really, really sweet and helped me quite a bit, because at some point as we were making our way up and almost had reached the summit, it just started raining, and we thought that we should continue, so we did, because it was drizzling in the beginning, but it just kept getting worse to the point where there was a hailstorm, and then we were like, okay, fine, now we need to head back, because it was a very, very strong hailstorm. Like, I don't remember the last time that I saw a hailstorm that crazy. It was nice though, but my god, it hurts. When it hits you on your head and arms and everywhere. I still have bruises from it. I was extremely cold obviously, and so we turned back, and again really thankful that I had company, because, you know, we were making sure that all of us are fine. The stones and gravel, everything becomes slippery, so we were just holding on to each other and making sure that we were all right. I'm sitting in Dilijan. This is my second day in Dilijan. I arrived here yesterday in the evening though, so not a full day. This is my first full day. Dilijan is called the Switzerland of Armenia. It's also their green lung. This is where they have green mountains. It's a beautiful national park, and they have a bunch of monasteries obviously. So today, since it was my first day, I'm going around. Yesterday I drove from, my god, it feels like I've been here for ages, I'm just forgetting. I drove from Yerevan, where I was, to Dilijan. It was, I think, about 2 hours, so I tried to break the journey. There were a bunch of places that I wanted to see on the way. The first place that I stopped at is this ski resort town of Armenia. It's called Zakhadzor. I don't know, I'm pretty sure that I'm butchering the name. Stopped there just for this monastery that I visited. It is called the Kecharis Monastery, built in the 11th to about 13th century. This beautiful complex. Really liked it, and I just spent some time there. And from there I also wanted to, because you pass by the Lake Sevan in order to get to Dilijan, so I stopped at Lake Sevan, and the monastery that I went to, I'm just looking it up because I've just the names are difficult. Sevanawang Monastery. You have to climb up a hill to get there, and it was really nice. The view was stunning because you can see this massive lake that Sevan is. I'm standing in front of the Juktak Monastery. It is this 12th century monastery. It's actually, the word Juktak means twins, so there are two monasteries here. This is a little tiny drive out of Dilijan, and you can't drive all the way up. It's rocky and muddy, and I just didn't feel safe to drive. Also, I don't think my car could have. So I parked somewhere on the road, the main road, and I started walking up. It's a difficult, almost a kilometer uphill walk, and I mean, I've had a long day, so I was kind of tired. And then suddenly this jeep shows up, and this boy speaking in Armenian basically asks me if I want to ride to the monastery, and he gets me here. It's really, really sweet, very nice. And I'm here now. There aren't a lot of people. It's just me, and I can see two people just walking in. There's nobody all this while. It's stunning. There's one candle lit inside, so that means that someone was here, but it's quite quiet, and it's in the middle of nowhere inside the national park, so it's very, very beautiful and green. I'm at the Matosavang Monastery. It's a medieval monastery on the hike, or the medieval monasteries trail, a little bit 30 minutes drive from Dilijan. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's, you know, just the forest around me. It's also raining, so it's very, very, very beautiful. The monastery is just out in the wild. There are like things growing out of it. It's almost in ruins, but it's stunning inside. It has, you know, moss, and it's all green inside, and it's very pretty. Built in the 12th century, 1247 is what the board says. And yeah, it's beautiful, and the weather is making it more gorgeous. The greens are just shining in the rain, and it's quite beautiful. It's a little bit of a hike, but it's worth it. I'm driving from Goris to Yerevan. Goris was the last town before I go back to Dubai from Yerevan. I was there for 2 days. It's a beautiful, stunning town, city. I think my favorite in Armenia so far. There's something about Goris, I couldn't place what it was like. I couldn't compare it to something that I'd seen before, so it was definitely a very different experience, just in terms of how the city looks. Also the things that are around it. So there are these cave dwellings that are in Goris, but also in this place called Khandoradesk, something like that. But it's this ancient cave dwellings from the 5th century up until the early 1900s or the late 1800s. So I went to the Khandoresque one in the noon yesterday. It was quite sunny, so I was not able to explore too much. You have to climb down a bunch of stairs and then you have to take a swinging bridge across to get to the old city where those, abandoned cave dwellings are on a slope of a hill. It looks stunning, but yeah, like I said, I wasn't able to explore too much there. So in the evening, I went to the one that Goris has, which is just behind the city cemetery. So I went around, 6-ish p.m., which is about 1.5 hours from sunset. So the climb was stunning because there's last rays of the sun near the horizon hitting those beautiful, these natural mounds of stone. And they're stunning. They're just absolutely stunning. The hills are gorgeous. There's not a lot of massive trees, but there's a lot of like these shrubs with mulberries and different kinds of berries, so you can just pluck them off, eat them on the way. There's also a lot of wildflowers. There's just the drive towards Goris and outside of it is also these expanses of hills with just wildflowers on them, or some sort of wheat or stuff that people are, barley, maize that people are growing. I just went out and plucked a bunch of wildflowers. They're almost drying now, but my god, they were so pretty. And so yeah, so the drive in and out is very pretty as well. About the caves, they look like they're out of this world. They're unreal. It's such a beautiful sight. Some of them are still in use by by shepherds for their cattle, etc. But yeah, I think I just absolutely loved staying in Goris. The people are great, city is beautiful, and all these places that you can kind of explore are stunning as well. Yeah, I really look forward to coming back here. Stunning. Goris, so pretty. Yeah, you can see yourself. That's about it. That's me setting ground rules for myself. This is a deliberate attempt to sit down with my camera, take it around, just capture how I'm perceiving the place. If I feel like talking about it, then talking to the camera, etc. But yeah, just very excited about this trip.